When people ask how our life is going, we tend to relate it back in terms of events and activities, of interactions and occurrences. It's always about the pieces and fragments. But what we mean to do is talk about life as a whole, what the entirety is like. Why does this happen? Perhaps because speaking about those parts is so manageable and digestible, something which can be repeated and copied, while speaking about things in their totality is difficult to conceptualize and put into words. It is a way of talking in which we can never encapsulate all that we intend. When we come to the realization that all these things were laid out for you, and you were too ignorant to see them, you ask no questions and accept the conditions. We are all human beings. Being in the moment may be one of the most difficult things for us to do. Your primary task in life is to determine what you're going to be responsible for. You have to commit yourself to certain things, regardless of the possible outcomes. If you can be honest with yourself of what you want to take responsibility for, you may be able to live the life that you want. We talk of emotions all the time and how our emotions control us and make us do things we don't want to do. What if one of the emotions we let take control of us more often was the emotion of curiosity? Wouldn't that be the most splendid thing in the world? Science is an attempt to establish indisputable facts. However, the thing that we must know cannot be explained by science in the least. Our plans for the future take us away from the prime aspect of life and living. The new what I want for the future is a thing that impedes upon what was once what I want for the future. Individuation is an exegesis of the soul, an interpretation or elucidation, the making clear of the matters of one's core truth. To have the understanding that nothing has to happen, but that anything can. By only wishing certain outcomes, you become a slave to specific ideas and forms of being. In turn, you may also cut yourself off from truth and reality, as it does not align with your laid out plans. What has the modern day given us? When we cannot keep our mind busied by the company of others, our phone is always handy to ensure we never have to experience the extreme torment of profound solitude. Your future self is constantly having a conversation with you, asking if you are willing to participate in your creation. It is inviting you to take on the anxiety, fear, discomfort, and displeasure that come along with the task of being one whom can handle the future adversities that are awaiting. But along with the adverse comes the glorious. When we give up the one thing that we absolutely must not give up, no matter what, we are provided a keyhole to the universe. The Demiurge is the voice in your head that is trying to get you to believe that you shouldn't be pursuing what you want. It's the thing that is telling you to give up on it. The Demiurge is the illusion of the world. All is within, and nothing is without. The greater the persona grows, the larger the shadow grows as well. When something positive happens, or you receive good fortune, the old thought would be that the world is working for me, or the stars are aligning for me. This would be the egocentric view, in which things are centering around us and are only for us. The issue with this is, if things go wrong, then can also be blamed on the world or the universe. The more helpful thought would be, I'm working for the universe, or I'm aligning with the way of the world. This would be the self-centric view, in which we are placing ourselves in the right position to have things work. The self is leading and we are receptive. Hence, we find ourselves in fortunate positions without having planned for it. Since we are receptive to the messages we receive, we are able to take the actions that lead to success. At the same time, if things do not work, we can more easily reevaluate our position to see how it can be corrected. Every step you have taken has led to the current step you stand on. But where does this step lead? First, review the previous steps and you will have your answer. And so the man has spent his whole life in attaining. He received many degrees from all the prestigious universities, and all those around him applauded and provided accolades. And he worked at the best organizations and climbed to the highest positions, and all the workers craned their necks to view his greatness. And he accumulated wealth and possessions that could last for hundreds of years. And he had a great big family that loved him so. And at the end of his life, he sat in his throne and wondered to himself, is this it? What have I been looking for this whole time? Is there nothing left to attain? In the flow of life, we float together, streaming endlessly until the river empties in the ocean. In space and time, we are found, reaching back and finding memories of our soul's past. Seeing the oneness of past, present, and future, our destinies align and we are completed by each other's loving embrace. Time is only what you make it. You are the one who allows time to be a determining factor in your life. Time can also be a non-factor, a thing which goes on without our noticing. If it seems that things are taking too long to happen, or that you don't have enough time, know that these are only perceptions of how events are transpiring. Allow the restrictions you have placed on yourself and on events to fade away and drop into the background. Allow time to flow as the stream that it is, without needing anything to happen or not happen. Give yourself the opportunity for life to take place as it will, without any conscious intention of what it should be. We spend our youth in search of who we are, and we tell ourselves who we are and what we like and what we stand for. And in the end, we find that the person we have always been has been hiding just beneath the surface. One cannot make the choice to love. Love is thrust upon us, leaving us completely unable to withstand its embrace. To think that we can choose to love is a preposterous mistake made by one too many people. We fill our lives with material things to fill the inner void. We find solace in the heart-pounding adventure when what we really want is deep personal connection with someone or something. Cheap thrills substitute for the lack of our inner world. Why is it that every generation, including our own, perceive that their time and age was the most important time in history, believing that everything has been leading to that point in time? It's because the present moment is always the most important time in history. For the past and the future don't exist in relation to the present. The present can never be surpassed, and this will remain the case for eternity. As we come to grips with who we are, we become more and more terrified with the reality of that which is approaching. The realization that you are a finite being and eternal all at the same time. That is it. Although we may be led astray, we always return to the source. The trials and tribulations of the everyday are no challenge for the one. Distractions abound and lead this way and that, yet through meditation we find the way back. You are one with the universe and everything around you. The more you fight that and try to be separate, the more you suffer. Your thoughts are just that, thoughts. They are nothing more, nothing less. They are ways of allowing you to understand and categorize the world, but they are not the end-all be-all of living and being. The actual world we live in is an incomprehensible unity, which must be divided into sections for us to try and understand it in the least. But the reality is that everything is interconnected. There is no division and no separateness present. The barriers are a construction of our mind. By allowing thoughts to rule our lives, we allow our lives to be based around the unreal.